G'day everyone, how's it going? Did I do that correct? I think so. I hope all is well. All is grand here. I'm trying a new playlist for background music. Yeah, as a YouTuber, it's kind of scary putting on background music because you never know if it really is copyright free. Well, I guess if you do more research than choosing the playlist 3 minutes before you go live, you would. G'day Craig, g'day Raina, g'day G-Snap, g'day Mark, g'day Chevy. I thought there was some sort of hashtag raid going down for a second there with the first comments, but not sure. Was that what you were achieving, Mark? Is Bodgy going live tonight? Bodgy from Australia. Let's see. Doesn't look like it. No scheduled videos. New arowana. So it looks like he picked up an arowana. I don't know if it's a gold one or whether the photo is just a gold one. Interesting. Somebody in the chat will know. John's cold. That's strange. Today was really hot. It hit like 26 degrees, I think. So where have I been? I've been sick. It's like the intro to every live in the last 2 years. I have been sick. Nah, but seriously, I was. I joined a motorbike club, and there was a group ride. It's called a club ride, and in standard fashion, I went riding. I was like, you know, you have the night before you get sick and you get the hot flushes. And then I woke up in the morning and I tricked my brain into thinking that I wasn't sick. And I went riding and I rode 85 kilometres off-road single trail while sick. Don't recommend. It was pretty intense. But yeah, I went on with it. Sunday was a write-off. And then, yeah, I was bound to get sick. So like, my wife had a cold, and my whole work had gastro, and I ended up with the cold. So like, the silver lining is I didn't get gastro. But yeah, I'm here now. The other positive is, even though I keep getting sick from like daycare and shit, at least I'm not sick. I'd rather 20 colds than like a leg amputation. How cold is it for 21? So yeah, it was 26 today here, and I was like, fuck, that's hot. So I definitely should move to the East Coast. I think I'd be happier with the temperature. G'day G-Snap. I'm not sure if I think I might have said hello, but you get a double hello. I've been thinking... so I just changed brake pads on my bike. Pretty funny. That's the brake pad of my bike. The pad's actually gone. Whoops. I kind of need a new rotor as well because the pad was that far gone that the rotor is no longer. Well, not no longer, but it's worn down. How much is a rotor? I didn't type it right. $100. It's not too bad, eh? Something leads me to believe that that wouldn't suit my bike, right? Because the two that are on the screen have different stud patterns on them. Wow, they got the same disc rotor from 2015 to 2023. I think I'll just send it, should be right. It's obviously going to have some scoring from the metal on metal, but Craig looking for a new place to shack up. Chevy seems to get nothing. So that used to be me. I used to never get sick, and then after the first stout of the spicy cough, it's like it just destroyed my immune system or something. Something definitely changed. Whether it be just because I've got a baby, or whether something changed in the last 2 years. Maybe 3 years. Rumble shopping lives. No, we're not doing shopping lives. I'm not putting it on the screen. But yeah, you're dead right. I don't know, I'm going riding and I'll assess the disc after it's had a bit of a run with the new pads. I feel like dirt bikes, the brakes aren't spinning that fast and getting that hot really, are they? Seems like it might be a hard part to find in Australia, but man, I ordered a kickstart from America. I paid $87 US for shipping. I could have paid like 15, and it's been 2 weeks today since I ordered it, and it's not here. Rotor's only an issue when you want to stop. I think I can actually... Let's see if I can look at the shipping. Man, I put... That's annoying. I've been sorting my emails into folders. Here we go. I couldn't... That's not the one. Hang on. More folders. Orders. I made a folder called orders. So my personal email, it's on my Outlook at work. So I figured I'm using my email every day. I might as well start sorting out my personal email. This is ridiculous. $87 US. I ordered it on the 9th of August. And it's only just arrived on the 24th. What's the day? On the 24th in Los Angeles airports. So it hasn't even left the US yet. And I paid like $130 Australian to ship this tiny little fucking kickstand. I'm so glad that I got my starter motor working. Is that crazy? Oh, the house that Craig's living in sold. The rental market's insane over there, I'm guessing, as well. Craig's going for a ride. Two-strokes don't have compression braking. Steve? I hover on the front brake a lot more anyway. Which is, so like, I think the rear brake pad must have been a failure, like it's peeled off or something, because I don't really use the back brake. I'm a front brake, like, put the weight over the front wheel into the corner. Unless I use the back, I don't know. My back brake did come loose once. I wonder if it was like grinding the whole time. Craig's mowing the lawn in the wife's dress, I think I read that as. I've been riding with some serious fast people. I got the camera charging, the Osmo Action. I'm going riding, I'm taking the camera. I took the camera out last weekend, but I bloody had the angle wrong and I was filming the ground. But I'll throw up a riding video this weekend. Fish fam, thank you. Welcome, Fish fam. If you're having a good time, don't forget to hit the like button. Awesome comment. Has anybody seen the Stark, the new electric dirt bike? It's like 80 horsepower. It's like 20 something horsepower more than a KX 500. I've been trying to beat the flower horns a bit, but they're just starting to fight. I think the problem with my fish room, most of Australians would agree, I struggle to breed in winter because the fish room, even just the little drafts that get through the door gaps, is enough to keep a lot of the tanks cool. The only tanks that are like 29 degrees, 30 degrees, I keep the fry in because I'd rather the fry have the warm water. But the tanks that I breed the flower horns in, they're like 25-ish, and I don't think they like breeding in that temperature. I'm spewing. I bought a female flower horn. It was probably 5 months, no, not that long, 4 months ago, and it's a boy. When I picked it up, I was like, I think this is a boy, and the guy's like, no, it's definitely a girl. It's not a girl, it's a boy. Electric Harley was horrific. I don't know, like, I'm not super down for the electric dirt bike. I feel like if I got an electric dirt bike, I would need like my headphones in to have some tunes cranking while I ride, if you know. Do you reckon? Like, I feel like just the sound of like the vibration of the sound of the knobbles of the tires and the chain skipping, I feel like would get annoying as. John, the Stingray tank is not coming along. I was thinking about just paying somebody to do it, but then I feel like if I pay somebody, they won't do a good job either. But the main issue is I'm working crazy hours at the moment. I actually slept in this morning. Nobody said anything. I just rocked up and started working. The person I bought it off could have rode the back brakes a lot. It only had 12 hours on it when I got it, but it's definitely possible. I think maybe I probably used the back brake more than I realised. But it's like the front pads were 50%. I replaced all front and rear. It'd be interesting to see how the front and rear wear this time. You don't use the brakes, the motor does the stopping. Is it like the regen on the electric motor Chevy? Raina always has some music on. Is that like riding on the road, or is that riding single, like bush trail? I used to put my headphones in a little bit when I rode like more fire brakey stuff, but the stuff that I ride these days is that technical that I've never really felt bored about riding. And not bored, but you know what I mean. The biggest issue is that if I'm out on the bike and I'm with people, that I can't pause music to have conversation. And the shit that I ride is too hairy to go by yourself. Like, you've always got to be with someone. We can have a look. Dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to press close, but like on the other screen. So this is my riding stuff. So someone gave me a new track. So check this out. I can just go dum 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 dum. It was on Facebook. Sorry for the awkward silence. Open file location. Did that go in tracks? Hang on. Alright, so if you look here, if I make me a bit smaller, so the grey line is the new ride that the guy sent me today. That's his plan to ride, and the yellow is like what I've ridden before. So you'll actually see like a lot of what he's planning to ride I've ridden, but there's so I know exactly where that is. Should be interesting. So like if you're to read these rides, so something like that, see how it's a straight line? I would say that's pretty fire breaky. If not, it's completely fire breaky. And then when it starts to squiggle, that's when it's usually single trail. It'd be cool if like I could overlay this on like Google Earth. There's probably a software that I can do it. So that straight line there is just the app joining spots. So this is down the side of a river. I might rename that. I can't remember how to spell it. I think it's Flynn Road. So like this is a parking spot. I do heaps. So like the good thing about this is I can build loops with this, but so like these are all separate rides. There's a parking spot like here, and then the other parking spots here, and it's quite a long drive away from each other. It's probably 20 minutes apart by car. So the cool thing about it is if I wanted to do like a 100k ride, I can build it on here with like these. And the good thing about that is I can make a loop and work out the exact length, so I can actually work out fueling. It's crazy how many lines are just here. I'm trying to think of where that is. It's a thought for another day. So I just get this little cord here. What am I riding? I've got a Beta RR 250 two-stroke. Says there's no device connected. It's still turning on. My GPS is flat actually. I just went to finish my coffee. That was double what I thought was in the bottom. My bike's starting to get pretty old and be a nugget, but I don't really post it online just because of how much bike theft goes down. It looks old and it looks ratty, like all the plastics, the stickers are almost peeled off completely. So I'm down to, oh, there we are, there's the Garmin. So I'm down to bare plastics and white plastics, they're scratched to the tippy toe. Alright, so now, if we go to tracks and go to North Dandy, throw that in internal storage. That's now. So check this one out. I want this one. So this tells a story. Me and a guy, we met up here. We rode along here, down here, single. We had planned on riding 100 Ks. That was the plan. We got down here, coming down, single, we crossed a thing, a fire break, and we get down here, and you'll see this U-turn here. This guy just humding at a U-turn, he was in front of me, and just flogged it, like full pelt, all the way up, all the way. See the fire brake line, that real straight line? This guy just sent it all the way back up to here and back to the car. And it was just me and him. So he left. So then I jumped in the car and came down here. And I actually drove all the way to here, where that house is. And then I realised, like, by the time I got there, I was like, this trail's shit by car. I can do like, I can do 70 Ks an hour by bike. I'm doing 30 Ks an hour by car. So I parked the car there. It was nice and deep. This is actually a tip here. So then I flogged it back down. You see I took a wrong turn there. It's crazy the story the GPS tells and how accurate it is. So then I rode down. You'll see I like got, that's only a single. So where did they, oh yeah, so I jumped back on that single there and I rode down, and then you'll see there's only 2 trails here, whereas there's 3 there. So then I rode this bit here. That's interesting. That looks like fire brake there, but there definitely wasn't. And I got to here, but the problem is that stage there, 1.5 Ks on the side. Like I'm probably 15 Ks from the car, maybe 20. But the problem with that is I was by myself, and if anything went wrong, just be a bad time. So I decided to double back. Now, the reason this is so frustrating, so we were like 30 Ks in there. We were 30 Ks in where we doubled back there. So I probably rode not many, like an extra 5 Ks or something. But see this single over here? See how windy it is and that? This is dirty single. The thing is, I'm pretty sure that's where I got to, and that's the end of the single that once was. No, that I've ridden. So I really want to link that up. Basically, my mate lives down that way. To drive to here for him and me is like an hour and 20 minutes. And if we meet at this end, so we went down a fire break there, but this single actually starts here. I saw it go off into the bush. But anyway, if we can meet here and ride, it's an hour and 20 minutes. If we meet at this end and ride, it's an hour and 20 minutes for me, and it's like 2 hours and 10 minutes for him, because there's no roads going through here. So like for him to get there, he has to go around. So anyway, point being, one of my mates I really like riding with, this spot here is like exactly halfway for the two of us, and we both love singles. But we came to an end here. Like, that's not because we ran out of energy. That there is as far as we could find the trail to go. That straight line there is just a link. If you cut a track in half, it'll draw a straight line to link it. So this trail goes to there. So I need to figure out how to link that to there. It's quite far. Might not be too bad. That's 26 k's including that straight line. So then that was 30 k's there. So it's probably 30 k's to link that. The problem is I've only got 100 k's range, so I can only ride 50 k's in and then I've got to turn back. So I think if I went back now, depending on what car the person I went with had, I might even consider trying to park back down here or even further and take that fire brake back to there, because it's obviously, if we go that way, you're going to cut out a few k's, and just for the purpose of scouting, I probably wouldn't ride that single again. I'd probably scout back down the fire brake to get to this point as quick as possible. But yeah, a GPS brings this whole new level of riding. So this one here, this is the Secret Squirrels location here. So like, if I've got the GPS, when I turn it on from home, it actually pings a line. From the house to the riding spot, which is pretty annoying. So now where's the one I just saved? Flynn Road. Can you say it? If anybody's got the Australian Topo Active files, can you let me know? Why didn't that transfer? Flynn Road. Oh, Flynn Road 70 k's is on there. Yeah, so that's why we're riding on the weekend. So now this one. That's a big ride, that one there. It kind of looks like Firebreak, but well, it doesn't really when you zoom in. It looks like such a straight line, but when you're riding it, it honestly doesn't feel that straight. So then, but that one there, like, it's crazy. You go riding with random people. Look, this is my main ride that I do maybe 4 or 5 times a year. Like, we parked here with this guy, which is en route of that other ride that I do. And like, where we parked, I had never seen that before, but we were only like 10 meters from the ride that I do all the time. And like, this app just shows you that. Like, what are the chances? This ride here, I haven't actually ridden this section here. My friend sent me a ride file, and I pulled that out of it. Oh, that's cool, Raina. My GPS is actually for a pedal bike. The bracket that goes on my bike, it's I actually cable tie my phone, my GPS to the bracket, because the bracket is just a slip lock one, and it's definitely for a push bike, not a road bike, not a dirt bike. This is kind of an insight into shit that I don't share with people, guys. I know none of you are really in WA, but honestly, so the way I see it, right, people ask me if I can send them these files, and I straight out say no. So this is one from a friend. He one-upped me. So the yellow line is where me and my mate had explored before. He sends me this file, which is cool because it's an area that I've explored, but we've added to it. But then, like, in saying that, I sent him this file, and that's a treasure to me, that one. The only problem with this one, it's a little bit short. It's only 52 kilometers, but it's tough terrain, so it's a solid 52. I've thought about if I could cut in there somewhere, right up here, do like 10 or so Ks up here, flip a U-turn. It'd be a double back, but it would add that extra 20 Ks to that route. Coop's just in the bath just behind me, or like the room behind me. My contacts. What was my point before about? Yeah, so like, obviously, if somebody wanted this route, which I've had people ask me before because I've posted like blank screenshots, like, I would let them come with me to the ride, and they can have a GPS on their dash and they get the ride like that, but I don't really send them straight to people. So like, this guy, I'd never met him before, he came on this ride here. We parked there actually. We scouted this out and we ended up getting chatting. He had the same GPS as me, or similar. Next minute he sends me a file, and it had a few rides on it. It had a ride through here, around here, which is what I added in here, so I joined them together. And it had this blue one here, and then it also had some of this yellow one. This yellow one's a mess. I've written here that much. I just linked them all together. If I go riding there, it'll pretty much just be figuring out a loop as I go. Most of the times I ride in that spot there, I've got a leader. Like Sunday's ride is this one here. Anyway, he sent through a few files and I was like, oh, respect. Like, so I made this loop here, which was mine and his combined, and I sent that to him. I also sent him this one because I know he was interested in that. But like, so that guy there, I've created that friendship that I'd happily share files, swap them back and forth. But I hate it when people just on Google, on YouTube, no, what's the other app? Facebook. Can you send me the DXF of that? I posted a video and somebody saw that I had a GPS on my handlebars in the video and inboxed me and asked me for the DXF file. I feel like this one here, this one's worth its weight in gold, really. So some of the trails in this one were very unridden. That's pretty funny, we doubled over trail there. The GPS is so accurate. Like, that's obviously where my car was. And then over here, the clubhouse has got a pressure washer. That's obviously where the pressure washer was. There was like a little bridge right there. It's insanely accurate. G-Snap says most of the trails through edge of subdivisions now. Yeah, so just out of, so I live like here, and I used to ride about here, then that got built out. So then I started riding, I don't know where, over here, where this house is. But then, so where this house is here, it's actually, the ranger picks you up there. So I stopped riding there, then I started riding out here. That's an hour and 20-minute drive for me. But this house here, it's only 42 minutes drive, which is still a lot, but that's the best closest riding. What's this one here? The problem is, I drop these houses and I don't even write anything on them. It's weird that there's a house with no trail. Might delete that house. Oh well, that's cool. I had to do this before Sunday. So you guys just came for a cruise. I wouldn't mind finding some single down near Dunsborough when it's over here. I think I might struggle, but that's where I grew up. So like, if I found some good riding in this corner here, I could take my bike to my mum's and go for a ride. Then Mrs. could hang out with my mum for the day. No, Craig, I didn't see you get pulled up. Alright, so now we just go I think send to device. I don't know if this thing charges or not. So a guy I went riding with last week or the other week said that plug it into power and it'll charge, but it's like, it's not actually, they're not rechargeable battery, like built-in battery. It's actually like my own batteries in there, so I don't really trust it. Oh, Craig was live speeding. It's got these batteries in it, Eneloop. I'm sure all the YouTubers in the chat are aware of that brand. I think I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you liked the non-fishy introduction into where I ride. So, you know how I've posted the creek rides before and it looks really pretty? That line there, actually no, it'll be this one here with the 20,000 lines on it. That's the creek through there, that dark yellow. So there's actually like 3 separate single trails to get to that same spot. That one up there is chopped up. It's quite interesting, like you pull out from the car and it's like you can pull into 1, 2, 3 trails. Never even really realised. I knew there was at least 2, but it's like, it's just such a different representation when you, and see this square, there's a farm. You can tell they must get so shitty. We ride straight around this farm every time. Alright. Base camp closed. Live closed. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. As for the videos on the channel, I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about buying the Sony BZ1 Mark II. See if it gives me the motivation to post videos. Anyway guys, peace out.